Hello, I'm Mr. Blacklock, and for this lesson we'll be learning to round to the nearest hundred. To start, let's talk about counting by hundreds. We always start again with the 0, and then you go 0, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, and 600, 700, 800, 900, and then we get to 1,000, but we still keep counting by hundreds, 1,100, 1,200, 1,300, and so on. So when you round a number to the nearest hundred, you're going to be landing on one that, if you look at these, will have two zeros in the hundreds. So before we do that, let's take a look at this number line here that has numbers from 0 to 100. Now, you can see I'm counting by tens here. It would be too much to put every single number that goes in there. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Now, the important thing is to know where the middle is, because any number that is less than the middle would round down, and any number that is greater or the middle would round up. And in this case, the number between 0 and 100 is 50. That's the exact middle. Again, anything less than that would be closer to 0, or the tens and the 0 in that place, and we would round down. What about 50? Well, 50 again is exactly in the middle, and so some math people decided we have to go somewhere, so let's make it go up. So the rule is that if it has a 5 in the tens place, then any number there, 50, 51, 52, or such up higher would be going up to 100. Okay, let's look at this other number line here. The one down below goes from 100 to 200. Think about it. Let's see, 110, 120, 130, 140. What number would be right in the middle? Yeah, it would be 150. Notice in the tens place, they both have a 5. So this time, not like rounding to the nearest 10, but when you round to the nearest 100, it's the number in the tens place that's going to tell you whether you round down or round up. The number in the ones place, it doesn't really matter. All right, let's do some rounding of numbers. So let's pick, let's say 135. Okay, I want to find the 100 that comes before and the 100 that comes after. To do this, since we're going by hundreds, I'm going to keep that 1 for 100, but I'm going to change the 3 and a 5 to zeros, because the 100 that would come first, as you can see here, is 100. And then you go to the next 100, which would be 200. Okay? So, again, the rule is in the tens place, if the number is less than 5, you would round down. So we look here, and in the tens place we have a 3 representing 30, which is less than 50. So 35 is less, 135 is less than 150. So we would round down, and that would be our rounded number. Let's try another. $155. Okay, rounding to the nearest 100, just like the last one, I can make these two numbers here zeros, and I would get this to be 100, which is the lower rounded down number. And the next one would be 100 more, is 200. So now again, we look at the tens place when rounding to the nearest 100, and it's a 5. Remember, 5 in the tens place is 50, and anything with 50 or greater rounds up. So 155 would be right about there and would round up to 200. Okay, let's try some without the number line. Let's go with 347. Okay, without a number line, I want to know what 100 comes before and what 100 comes after, because it's either going to round down or it's going to round up. So I'm going to take these two numbers in the tens and the ones place and make them zeros, and I have 300. Add another 100 and you would go up to 400. Okay, it's the number here in the tens place that makes a difference. it's a 4. Being 40, which is 347 is less than 350, which would be the middle number. So because that number right there is less than 5, in the tens digit, we round down, and we would round down to 300. Let's try another one. $462. This would be 400, and that would be 500. Looking at the tens place, it's a 6. 50 is in the middle, so 450, this is 462. So tens place being a 6 greater than 5 would make us round up to 500. Okay, let's try a more difficult one. I'm going to have a 4-digit number. 4,350. Okay, so again, I'm going to change those two digits, the tens and the ones, to zeros, and we have 4,300. 4,000, I'm going to change the 300 to 100 more, which would be 400. And those are the two numbers at below, 100 below and 100 above. Again, I'm looking now at the tens place. It's a 5. 5 for 50. 4,350. Okay, now that would be in the middle between these two. So the rule is, if it's a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, in the tens place, we would round up. And our number would be 4,400. One more. What if the number we're rounding to the nearest hundred is 996? Okay. To make this 100, turn those two zeros, we have 900. And what would be the next 100 more? Okay, well, if you look over here, we go 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, and then we go to 1,000. It has 3 zeros, but that's okay. When you're counting by hundreds, you're going to get to the thousands, which have 3 zeros. That would be the next 100. So now let's follow our rule. We're going to look at the number that's in the tens place to decide whether it goes down or up. It has a 9 in it, which is greater than 5. Remember, if that number is a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, we round up. This number doesn't matter. So it would round up to 1,000. There I go. I hope it helps you. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.